Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today I'm playing a black-white control deck that's fully rotation-proof and ready for the arrival of Bloomburrow. If you're looking for a control list that doesn't involve counter spells but gets to play a lot of planeswalkers, this build might very well be for you. It does incredibly well against the aggro decks of the format because of cards like Pest Control and Temporary Lockdown. These very early sweepers eliminate a lot of the threats from Mono Red and Boros Convoke that often run players over, and there are even more ways to make Boros Convoke miserable, like Tomic, Wielder of Law. Because this is a Planeswalker deck, the affinity for Planeswalkers is relevant, often casting this for just 2 mana. And on top of that, when the opponent attacks you with more than 2 creatures, you get to draw a card and they lose 3 life. Most of the time though, we're trying to grind our opponents to dust with card advantage built up from Ashiok and Vraska Betrayal's Sting, and if our opponent uses control elements, we'll try to beat them with Mirrex and other uncounterable cards like Restless Fortress and the activations of Demolition Field. Virtue of Persistence, Go for the Throat, Bitter Triumph, Long Goodbye, Sheldred's Edict, Legions to Ashes, and Cut Down. This is all a pile of removal that keeps our opponent from winning so that we can make fun, important decisions and eventually try to get ultimates out of our planeswalkers Archangel Elspeth, Ashiok Wicked Manipulator, Vraska Betrayal Sting, and Liliana of the Veil. So if you're looking for a different kind of strategy besides just all attack face or counter every spell for best of 1 and you want it rotation proof, here's a deck you can craft today. Let's dive in and let the nonsense begin. Serious polar bear. Ah! Rank up. That's the goal. Will this hand do it? Removal, planeswalker. This'll do it. Gotta believe. Ruckus. Dangerous. But Edict should be good. Cut Down could be good. Double Plot. Yikers. Do we go for Liliana? I think we just hold. What can they really do? Other than let me develop. At some point, they have to throw something at me. Or they can just plot forever. We chill. Look at that Go for the Throat. I don't think we'd put down Liliana and rely on Cut Down to protect us, though. I think that's too risky. They scry to the top. It's probably a land then. It's not. They show off. They Swifty. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I want to see how much commitment we can get out of them. Any response? Maybe we can get this Cut Down to do something good. Targeting the Swift Spear does give away a little something. They let it die? Surely they'll try something now. They're gonna try to play with fire. It's gonna be hard to get all the way there with burn, but it's smart of them not to deploy the Ruckuses when they expect removal. Can they continue to suspect removal? They no longer have a plotted show off. If we play this, we still have Go for the Throat up, and we attack their hand. Let's do it.
Happy to help, but
obviously, Lockdown isn't doing much here. They give up a Lightning Strike. That's huge. They draw the land. They cast nothing. Hit him again. They strike Liliana.
regret that.
They have no creature. Interesting. Well, I'll discard this Liliana then.
Won't be outsmarting me.
But with 16 health, them top decking, I'm playing Vraska. If they top a creature here with haste, which is all their creatures, I think, they kill Vraska, but they do not. All right, Ashiok. Let's do this. And that was enough. 2 planeswalkers, no board. That's a rank. So far, so good. But this Chandra avatar threatens us with more mono red nonsense. We're on the play though, with removal. I mean, this is the most mono red aesthetic I've ever seen, so of course it's blue-white control. Always was. All right. My 26 lands aren't enough. How are theirs? Doing just fine. Gotta draw it. There we go. This is a matchup for the Mirrex. Opponent, would you like to take a game action? Yeah, that makes sense. I would do that. They have a Mirrex. Don't love that. Doesn't get much worse than this. Interesting. They choose to union instead of use their Mirrex. Demolition Field, get the job done. If they have the Jaces in the deck, I don't think we can win. Not with this start. We're way too far behind. If they don't have Jaces, it's possible we can do something. And we drew the Mirrex. Would have been really nice a turn or two ago. Better late than never. Here comes Wandering Emperor.
Finally, I'm home. Guards, to me.
We chill, we chill. They're going for the counter. That makes sense.
We've got the edge in this.
We take this. Our plan is to make a token and then remove this on our turn, or at least try to. We have Long Goodbye, so we definitely can. But we'd prefer to save Long Goodbye for the Restless Anchorage. Would love for the Virtue to resolve first. If the opponent wants to use counter spells to defend this, they can do that. It's fine. It leaves them with less counter spells for the future. I'm also not concerned with getting the Wandering Emperor out of here. Ideally, you attack it down, remove their board presence, build your own. And okay, they're holding up 3 mana. Why? They must have another counter spell or they wouldn't do that. So we'll use the Long Goodbye. Can't be countered. Basically, we scammed them out of their draw too. Love that for me. And we just take a little poke at the Wandering Emperor so that if they want to minus it to make a Samurai next turn and we remove that Samurai, then the Wandering Emperor is on 1 loyalty, so it might get killed by the might. It might. See what I'm saying?
May your blade strike true.
Okay, we go for Legion on the Wandering Emperor. They will probably counter this. We think they have one. If they counter it, maybe it's a 3 steps, and maybe they use the 3-step spree mode to try to copy the Samurai. If they do that, we go for the Throat the Samurai, attack the Emperor.
I guess that's
That worked. They must have another one. Hold the go for the throat for the anchorage. Or they have Memory Deluge, which I'm also really unlikely to beat. Just where I'm at right now, if they just show me any Jace, I will concede. I cannot beat that from this position, but if they don't show me a Jace and we can run some things into counter spells, well, that's Magic the Gathering. I guess I'm going to keep throwing spells at them. We're going to play Reckless until the game is hopeless, because right now, just doing nothing is getting them Memory Deluges, which is ruining us as well. Hit. Maybe. Cool. Alright, which Planeswalker is the worst? It's Elspeth, right? So let's get this countered. Elspeth, great against the likes of Mono Red. Not so great here. I'm sure it's fine. They're just not going to draw another relevant spell for the rest of the game. Demo field. No fear. Vraska. If we give them an inch, they'll just flash back a Memory Deluge. Right now, we just have to keep running out our stuff, which feels really horrible. But it's all we've got. They've drawn 3 copies of 3 Steps Ahead. We couldn't even hit our 3rd land on time. They got 3 copies. That's pretty good. Honestly, I don't want to play this game. I think that's good enough. I think you guys know it. I know it too. Let's see if we can do better than Mana Screwed against Blue-White. We've got Pest Control, we've got Tomek, we've got Liliana, and we're on the play. It's all pretty good. And it's Mono Red, leading with a Kumano. Now we could blow it up with Pest Control. But I think we chill. Don't love the Demolition field. It makes the mana a little awkward. Red-green. Pass? Thinking about it. Yeah. Do we cycle? No. Hold. Hold, hold, hold. I do think we slam Tomek. Use the Mirrex to not even take 1 damage. Get out 2/4 Flying Vigilance. Potentially draws cards. Yeah, they go face. They go top. Let's see what kind of a plan they unleash here. There's another creature. Audacity. Yep, this is the part where they play all of their happy spells. I will draw this card. I will take your damage. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Pretty clear they have Monstrous Rage. They always do. We go to 7. Unfortunately, well, wait a minute. Do I take damage for this? Or let's do it like this. Green mana is useful. Taking them off green. Most of these decks do not run a basics forest. They do. Clever. Let's cast some Pest Control and blow these up. And get in an attack. I have a backup Tomek here. The The opponent doesn't do anything about this one. Coming at you. I'm going to hold. Even taking 1 damage to cast this Liliana right now might make a difference in the game. Our opponent wants to make 1/1s, that's fine. They lose life and I draw if they attack with both. Ancestral Anger. We could respond with a cut down. I think we just let it be. They could have a way to protect it, which would be a bit of a blowout. We can walk them into the play we want them to make with some patience. I have another Tomic on backup, so I call. Let's see what they've got. Ivar's Stand tapping out. Nope. Not today. And I'll cycle this. We're in a good enough position. Lockdown can get the 1/1, but so can Liliana. Liliana can also get the last card in their hand. Without that card, I don't know how they stay in the game.
Something suspicious is going on.
There it is.
And for once, it's not my fault.
The aggro decks are still struggling against us. On the play, removal, removal, removal. It's what we do here. It's what the meta kind of demands. The way that the aggro is completely taken over. Our opponent's got the Chandra Avatar, the Dress to Kill sleeve, and the cat. An honest gamer would be playing mono red here, and it is Warden of the Inner Sky. Temporary Lockdown is ready. Bitter Triumph is ready if they play a Knight Errant of Eos. Epicure. Warden Scrying. Yep. Pixie. I don't like that Pixie, but let's see what they do with it. They might just bounce Epicure for value, or they might go for a board presence. They're gonna bounce their blood token to make a 2/2. I like that. It walks right into my clutches. Everybody into the box. Naked Pixie. We like that. Speaking of things we like, Archangel Elspeth. Begin the plussing.
So long as I am by you will shine bright, hero.
Base? No respect.
Ready arms!
Man, she's spooky when she tries. Liliana? Liliana. But let's plus.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it.
We're going to attack the
We all
opponent's
have
hand.
things we want.
They missed a land drop, so we know they have relevant spells in hand. Let's knock them down. I'm going to use the cut down now. Just for the emotional damage, clearly. This is another matchup that is certainly up our alley. A big old Rakdos avatar. Will this be a different type of opponent? Or more of the meta? If they're playing a control deck, the Liliana, if it resolves here and they just don't have the counterspell on time, might do really well. Let's find out. Mid-range. It might be mid-range. It's a green-black land. A tapped land. In this meta. Minds are blown. The Sunslayer. Yeah, I have a response to that.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it. Off you go.
I like getting the Liliana down and saving legions to ashes. It's not like there will be two Glissa the Sunslayers on the battlefield at the same time anytime soon. It's a good card. I don't like that. So I don't know if Tomic is good in this matchup at all, if I'm being real. And we do have to remove this or the opponent will just keep investigating. Like, this is a very brutal card against us. There might still be places for cut down. I'm gonna discard cut down. Pest control. Well, gotta remove this first. It might make me discard again, but I guess we do need more sources. So we play the caves, we play the Legion, we plus the Liliana, discarding pest control.
You won't be outsmarting me.
And hope they don't have another hostile investigator. That card is a breaker in this matchup. Another Glissa? Scary. A Dread Knight to draw. That's a grind machine. So we could play Ashiok, make the creatures. If the opponent can remove them, we're in big trouble. And we're actually down value, so plussing Liliana from here is really risky. If we do this though, this tries to keep up on value. Keep their board empty.
One of your friends
Drop an Ashiok. Get cards.
So much drama from which to choose.
Let's keep the basic planes for the lockdown. Ew. Okay, gotta draw an answer. Gotta draw an answer. That ain't it. Try to hit a removal spell. I think so.
Open your mind to me.
You love to see it. I'll keep the Tomics. Paying life is easy with Ashiok on board. Ooh, Liliana. Okay.
happy to help.
But they're going empty-handed against the Ashiok.
Have things we'd rather.
-7. Target player exiles the top X, where X is the total mana value of cards you own in exile. 2? Not what I would call worth it. So now with a Liliana and no support, we need to flood the board, I would say. Elspeth? Tomic? Empty-handed means that Liliana's minus doesn't hurt us. And Nightmares.
Leave no mind unspoiled.
That'll get him. Liliana is not long for this world, and from there, it just becomes overpowering so quickly. We win the mid-range match. That's a Ren avatar. Somebody play green around here? And look at these sleeves. Vibrant. What is going on? I will keep the hand. It is good against all manner of creature deck. But I'm honestly not sure what I'm playing against. Of course, sleeves can always be deceiving. It's just you pick up certain trends after playing the game for a long time. It is a green deck with a Haywire Might. Haywire Might's good against temporary lockdown, but I think we can take our time here. Don't feel like I have to virtue this. But maybe I do, because then next turn they play a 2-drop Liliana. We go from there. That's pretty good. Let's do it. There's always a chance that they just play 1-drops, leave the Might's activation open, and eventually get rid of Lockdown. If they do that with the trigger on the stack, they don't actually have to exile their other cheap cards. Sir Ginger. I feel like this is a deck I recently played. Might just have things in common. We'll see. The opponent now has a hasty hexproof Sir Ginger, so we have to kill it.
Off you go.
This card is actually really good against our planeswalkers. Both of our decks of Vraskas in the hand, so we really need a 5th land. Sandstorm Salvager. That is really good here. Our opponent's cooking. Believe it or not, I have to discard a Vraska.
Think things.
Lock him up. Really just hitting the golem. So yeah, I've had a removal curve and they've managed to keep something on board. Let's see if they can give it a boost somehow to kill the Liliana. Mirix in the house. Nameless City. That might provide the boost. This is huge. Land. Not a land. Another GT. Liliana goes down. We're in big trouble. This is terrible. Like, look at this. Somehow, even though I've played all these removal spells, I'm behind here.
I know when I'm not wanted.
Yeah, what can I do? This is really bad. And these 3-drops are not what our board wipes are built to take on. If I had held the Virtue, things might be different right now. If I plus this, it just gets attacked. If I make a treasure, then I lose Vraska. I think I just have to wait. I think I have to demolish the Mirix and hope they don't add too much to their board this turn. Next turn, play the Vraska plus it, or treasure something, and the next turn hope to play a Virtue. We still have 22 life. That's our new resource. Our own life total. The ability is only relevant to creature tokens, which they don't currently have. But there's our first face punch. They might be worried about Sunfall. They might be conservative. That's probably our best chance. They did nothing. There it is. Okay, we drew Go for the Throat. So let's use that before we play the Vraska. They didn't activate the map though. Why not? They really are thinking board wipe. Back up Mirix. Yikes. Tough cookie. E. They're gonna power up the map. That's pretty slick. Okay. So we wait. We activate. So we can make a block here. And then go for the throat of the Sentinel. And we go to 13. We draw Mirix. If they had a land here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could go all the way down to 1, but we could get a Virtue down. Virtue getting Might gives us a chance, but we'd need a green source to activate it, which Mirix could do, but we'd have to play it this turn. Oh no. I want to slam the Virtue. I just have this bad feeling if I do that, I won't actually untap. Still, if I play the Vraska, Treasurify the Cookie, the opponent needs to come up with more damage to kill Vraska herself. Let's make it happen. They're going for the map. Oh, Soul Cauldron. It's good. Yep, this will get rid of the Vraska, which we knew could happen. Another one. Oh no. Is that going to be too much damage next turn? There's 8. Yeah, almost dead.
I will rise again.
They go for a Wormlet. Okay. Edict isn't very good. Alright, if they've got me, they've got me. We know they've got the Cauldron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11. They can also dish out the ability of the Tough Cookie. They can power up their food. They've got it if they see it. Yep. Just target this and we'll call it a game. And let them hit, as long as they go fast. Yeah, I think I could have played it differently. The Salvagers really made their mark in that game. The Sentinel as well. I think I really could have played that differently, though, starting from very early turns, the way I used Virtue. Could have been better.